I'm just going to, in case someone's curious and they want to get ahead and learn about the law of sines, I can go over it real quick with this video, but we will be going through these notes in detail in class. But if you happen to come upon this video, I'm going to teach you what the law of sines is all about. And this is for non-right triangles. So we can do trig for triangles that are not 90 degrees. So real easy setup. Whatever I'm asking for, I'm either going to be asking for a side or an angle. Okay, so whatever that unknown, I always want you to get in the habit of putting it in the upper left-hand corner. So we're going to be setting up a proportion. So proportion is two ratios. So we're going to have a unknown up top. We're going to have a known, and that's going to equal a known over a known. And this will make sense once we see actual numbers. So we're going to set up a proportion. That's how we do law of sines. Okay, so for example, I am asking you for angle B. So here's my angle B. I have no idea what that measurement is. So my unknown I'm going to put up on the top, and since the law of sines, we're always going to take the sine of angles. So whatever the angle is, we're using sine. So sine of this unknown angle B, okay, goes up top. But then underneath that, underneath the angle, is the corresponding side. So side B, I know it's known to be 23 kilometers, okay? Now, I need the same. So when you set a proportion, the ratios cannot be reversed, okay? I am locked in at having my angle up top when it's set up like this. So I must give you an angle. Well, the good news is I told you angle C is 79 degrees. So I know an angle. It's 79 degrees. I'm taking a sine of it, okay, and make sure our calculators are in degree mode. And the side opposite that known angle is 32, okay? So this is going to be, when you have your unknown up top, it's real easy to solve, because if it's not, then you would have to cross multiply. You can still cross multiply, but the whole idea is we're going to get the sine of B all by itself simply by multiplying by 23. So we're going to take our calculators and we're going to type in the right side of our equation. So on the right side, I have the sine, and again, make sure you're in degree mode. Okay, so I'm in degree mode. I'm going to ask the calculator for the sine of 79 degrees. I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to divide by 32. Okay, on your test, I don't need to see that. Just leave it stored in the calculator. But then I'm going to undo this side by multiplying. So I'm undoing division by multiplying. So I'm going to multiply by 23. Now I'm going to write this number down. You don't have to write it down, but it's about 0.7055. And we learned a long time ago that if we're finding an angle using trig, we hit second sine. So the calculator has this ratio stored in its memory banks. So to figure out what this angle is, I hit second sine, and then I'm just going to paste this in. I don't want to round this. I rounded it on my paper, but I'm going to hit second, negative, paste that answer in, and then I'm going to see it's about 44.9 degrees. 44.9 degrees. And that's the only thing I'm asking, okay? So you can try the number 2. Very similar, you're asking for an angle, okay? So I want to show you then, well, what if I ask for a side? Okay, so this, I'm only doing two examples, but at least get you started. So first example, we were finding an angle. Second example, my unknown, when I'm trying to find, is a side, which BC is really little a. So we can say, I want to know little a. So anytime we set up the law of sines, we put our unknown, so I don't know a side this time. So I'm going to have my sides up top, my angles on the bottom. So the angle that goes along with this side is 111 degrees. So I'm going to underneath put the sine of 111 degrees, and then I should be able to come up with a complete ratio. I need to know a side that's given. So we're told this side is 10. So I put a 10. And now B, I didn't directly tell you that angle, but I must know it. So I'm going to quickly add the two angles that were given. So I'm going to add them together, and then I'm going to subtract it from 180. So we know all three angles of any right triangle. I forgot to hit minus my answer. we know that has to be 17. So we must have the sine of 17 in the bottom. Okay, so it is set up. Now, this one's really easy to solve. And again, you could cross multiply, but when you have it set up like this, all I need to do to get a by itself is type in this right-hand side and multiply it by the sine of 111. So I'm going to type in exactly what I see on the right side. I see 10 divided by the sine of 17. I'm going to let the calculator tell me what that is. And then I'm going to have to multiply to get a by itself. I undo division by multiplying by sine of 111. It's going to tell me 31.9. Okay, 31.9, not degrees. In this case, it's yards. So try to label your answer correctly. So when you're finding an angle, put degrees. When you're finding a side, whatever the unit I use. Okay, so that is the law of sines. So 2 examples. We're going to do more in class and stuff, but you can try the rest of these. I did post these answers in Schoology that you can double check your answers. So 6 minutes to quickly introduce you to the law of sines, and that will be the last 2 questions on your last exam for the year. Okay, so thanks for watching. Take care.